To understand the effects of nitrogen pollution, firstly, we have to get familiar with the natural nitrogen cycle. Here you can see the upper and lower atmosphere, the soil, and all our natural waters. Between the soil and the water, there is a transition color. What happens here can equally happen in the soil or in the water. Let's start with the nitrogen gas, or dinitrogen. The main natural sinks of nitrogen gas are legumes, which have the ability to fix nitrogen while producing ammonium in the soil. The other natural process which consumes nitrogen gas is lightning. During lightning, at a high temperature, nitrogen unites with oxygen, producing nitrogen monoxide and nitrogen dioxide. These are called together NOx. Let's see what happens with the ammonium in the soil. Firstly, it serves as a nutrient for plants. Secondly, some bacteria in the soil convert it to nitrate. This process is called nitrification. Loads of things can happen to nitrate. A part of it is taken up by plants as a nutrient. A part of it, together with some of the ammonium, is leaching out from the soil to the natural waters. Here, both nitrate and ammonium serve as nutrients for aquatic plants and algae. And finally, nitrate can go through another microbiological process called denitrification, forming nitrogen gas and nitrous oxide. Nitrous oxide is a really stable compound, so it can get up to the upper atmosphere. Here, driven by the sun, in a so-called photochemical reaction, it is converted back to nitrogen gas. This is, however, a very slow process. It takes about 120 years for a nitrous oxide molecule to be converted to dinitrogen. Let's go back to NOx, originating from lightning. NOx is removed from the atmosphere through atmospheric deposition. This can be dry deposition, which happens when the tiny atmospheric vortexes transfer the molecules to the surface. However, it can be also wet deposition, which happens when NOx is dissolved in atmospheric water droplets and washed out from the atmosphere with rain. Both processes increase the nitrate content of the soil or the surface waters. There is a further aspect of the natural nitrogen cycle, which is the breakdown of animal excreta and dead organisms. During the breakdown, especially from that of excreta, ammonia is formed, while in the soil, organic nitrogen is produced. This organic nitrogen is then transformed by soil microbes to ammonium. This process is called ammonification. Finally, ammonia, similarly to NOx, is deposited to the surface, increasing the ammonium content of both the soil and the fresh waters. These processes are in balance in natural conditions. But then comes some human intervention. On one hand, from the atmospheric nitrogen gas, we are synthesizing ammonia via the Haber-Bosch process to produce fertilizers. Fertilizers, together with manure originating from livestock farming, drastically increase ammonia emission as well as the ammonium content of the soil. Some fertilizers also increase the nitrate content of the soil. The nitrate content of the soil will be also increased by the nitrification of the extra ammonium. With more ammonium and nitrate in the soil, more ammonium and nitrate will be washed out, and more nitrous oxide will be emitted after the nitrification. But sadly, we don't stop here. We also disturb the natural nitrogen cycle through the emission of NOx. NOx is released during the combustion of fossil fuels, where at high temperature the nitrogen content of the air is oxidized to NOx. So this is the natural nitrogen cycle, and the most important human activities influencing it.